So I had a friend message me yesterday after the Mary video dropped, and she asked me if I was going to be wearing my Winnie wig and costume for today's video, and I definitely thought about it, but then realized that I'm I'm not a super over the top person in like form unless it's Halloween, and it's not Halloween. It's like barely October. So we are making the Winnie bar today, and I'm going to tell you all about it in just a minute. But before I do that, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudzers? Welcome back to the channel. You are here for another round of 365 days of soap, and today's a double whammy, like celebratory amazeballs day, right? Because first, we are making the Winnie soap, so we are finishing up the soap series for the Sanderson sisters. We have a couple other things in store for you to include with the Hocus Pocus awesomeness, but finishing the soap series today. But also, today is day 183 of 365 days of soap, which means we are officially at the halfway point. We have managed to make it halfway through a 365 day of soap project. So we're 6 months in, and that is amazing to me. Like, that's no easy feat, my friends. It's 183 days of daily soapy content, like full videos and all of the things, and whew, it's been so much fun. And I appreciate every single one of you that have like joined me on this ride, because it's been a really cool one. And I think it's very fitting that today, for the halfway point, we are making the bar to represent one of my favorite characters, like ever. Because witches are cool, Hocus Pocus is cool, but Winnie is fabulous. Bette Midler is fabulous. And so, yeah, this is the perfect way to, sort of commemorate that halfway point with the Winnie bar. Now, if you tuned in yesterday and you saw the Mary bar, you would see we did some cool things with her hair and some piping. We're going to be doing that for the Winnie bar as well. We are working with a really cool scent blend for Winnie as well that is like just perfect for everything that she is. And it's like, I'm going to stop talking here. Let's go.
So, you know how I'm always bagging on George May for how long her videos are? Really? I just finished the edit on this, and this is my, soap, and I had to cut so much out. Like, the total pour time for all of this was like well over an hour. So I cut so much of this out just to get it to a manageable level for, the YouTube thing. Really, and I find that very funny because, eventually it had to happen to me too. And yeah, so you didn't get to see the whole mixing of the things and the, this is how you take your oils and your lye water and you mix it up. But like, I can't really say literally every other video because I think I did the same thing yesterday. It was kind of a long video too. So with the exception of the Sanderson Sisters bars, look at literally every other cold process video and you will see how to do that. So that's cool. Now, this is going to be a sculpted soap for me because I'm doing the thing, and that's awesome. And I love that purple, but I want you to pay attention to this purple, okay? It's very, very important that you remember this color purple right now, what it is, how beautiful and awesome it is, how that's absolutely a perfect purple for a Winnie bar. And yes, pay attention to the purple, both in the, Pyrex, but also in the mold. As I am doing other things, watch the mold. It is crazy. And the reason it is crazy is because I am working with a dupe that I had made. Actually, one of my sudsers had messaged a couple months ago and asked if I could make a Bath & Body Works dupe for Dark Kiss. And so I did the damn thing. And then I found out that you can actually just get it from somewhere. But also, look how quickly that beautiful purple has gone from, oh God, what's happening here? Yeah, so the dupe that I made for the sudser, I sent her some lotions, which is cool. But I really wanted to use this for Winnie because it is, well, it's named Dark Kiss, which is cool because it's like Winifred sucking the lives out of little children, right? And two, because it seems like it would be something that she would smell like. So it's like black raspberry, burgundy, there's rose essential oil in there, there's vanilla bean. It's delightful. Such a good blend, very mystical and witchy, really. And I really wanted to use it for these, soaps. But do you see, as it's sitting there in the upper right hand corner, again, just pay attention to it. As I'm mixing up the next layer, are you watching it darken? Are you watching it go brown? Like, I did not realize I'd put this much vanillin in it, really. I didn't realize it, and I was actually, it was such a surprising thing because I am doing the thing and mixing the green and not paying attention to the mold at all, not paying attention to anything that's going on in the mold because I need that to set up while I am doing my other colors so I can pull, a thing through it to do a sculpted layer. And so I'm focused on the thing that's in front of me, absolutely not paying any attention to the mold and what it is doing at this moment. Now, that green, super beautiful, right? That's totally a Winifred Sanderson green. Yeah, like, I did a good job. Look at me go. And it's gorgeous, it's awesome, and it's ready to be poured into the mold too. Gotta put a little bit of the blend of the dupe for Dark Kiss into that, unless I already did, I don't remember. And at that moment, wow, I looked at it and went, what is this? Look how gray this thing got. Look how gray this soap got. Are you seeing? Oh my God. So at that moment I am freaking out, and I put more green into the next green layer, really, because I am concerned that the whole bar, if it is discoloring this quickly, I'm concerned that the whole bar is going to be just one big brown mess at the end of it. And I always use my micas pretty sparingly, so I'm never even close to like the maximum usage for micas. So I knew that I'd be fine putting some more green in, but as I'm looking at this in the mold, I'm kicking myself that I hadn't done more with purples. Because my purples tend to gray out initially anyway, and then they'll settle into some sort of not exactly what I wanted purple, but purple-esque. But that's not going to happen with this. It's not going to get purple again, really. And so I'm kicking myself. This underskirt layer, essentially, for Winifred is not dark or is not purple, and that's just super heartbreaking. But I'm gonna hope, I have to keep going at this point, right? And so I'm gonna hope that nothing weird happens to the rest of the layers and go from there. But it just continues to get more and more brown. Like, I have never seen a blend accelerate this quickly. Not a dupe that I've made, not a dupe that I have found somewhere else. Never. I am really freaking out at this point. Like, it's going to be terrible. So again, I put extra mica into the green, hoping that that green would survive the darkening of the things, and we're gonna try. But at the end of the day, we might end up with nothing but a brown Winnie bar, really, and that would be nothing. I would have to remake it and pick a new blend. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. I love how thick all of this batter is to this point, which is weird because normally I love the not thick batter, right? But I need this to all set up so, you know, things can be pulled through it and all of the jazz. And so yeah, the thick batter totally works for this. I love that. And the final portion of the, you know, soap, the brown, cool. I'm gonna put some more purple mica in this. I think I'm using Harold's Purple Crayon plus Orchid. So Harold's Purple Crayon is from Mad Micas, and Orchid is from Brambleberry. And I did a combination of those two to get the purple, and I'm really, really hoping that the addition of this extra, you know, color is going to at least get the top part purple. I mean, purple needs to be represented somewhere in that, right? Otherwise it's just, it's all a thing, you guys. Like, and I find it very interesting with this whole witchy line, right? I think there was a little bit of hocus pocus at play through all of this, because you remember in the first, oh, that's pretty, that looks nice, that's a beautiful like plum color. I have a dress that is that color actually. I love it. But yeah, no, like you remember with the first bar, the Sarah bar, Georgia set out to make the Sarah bar, and she ended up making Sleeping Beauty. Like it did not work at all for Sarah, but it totally worked for Sleeping Beauty. And so it got put in the line as Sleeping Beauty because that was on the agenda as well. And so that was, you know, that happy, whatever, totally worked out. And then yesterday, what went wrong yesterday? I don't really think anything went wrong. I think it was just the process of like the piping of the soaps or whatever, and the really tall hair, and me being concerned that something was going to go wrong. But I don't think anything actually did. You remind me if you remember something different. But then yeah, no, then we have this with the Winnie bar. Really just from the very beginning, we've got this magical color shift thing that I wasn't expecting, and based on, you know, vanilla content that's in it, it shouldn't be doing this. So it's odd, it's very tricksy. And I find that kind of cool because we're making, you know, the Sanderson Sisters, the three witches, and we have some hocus pocus kind of meddling going on really in the soap shop, and that's crazy. But this is going to set up for a little bit while I prepare the hair for the piping. And yeah, we're gonna pipe some soaps again. That's gonna be super fun. That was a little bit of sarcasm there because, you know, I don't like piping soaps really. Like that's not fun for me. But the way that I create my batter for pipe soaps is fun for me because I don't, most of the time, I mean, I showed you in the, yeah, that's good. Look at that, holds up on its own, you're good to go. I showed you in the unicorn soap, I think, you know, a way to sort of like mix up, you know, take your beaters to your soap batter or whatever to get it to a pipeable consistency. And that's great. I just did that to, you know, show off. And then I ultimately ended up making a huge mess on the counter, right? Remember the explosion of blue? It's always blue for me. Why is it always blue for me? And so I shouldn't have tried to, you know, be fancy because this is how I do pipe soaps all of the time. I just take a regular batch of soap. It does not matter what it is, not really. And I mix it to like a medium trace, and then I walk away for 5 to 10 minutes. I just walk away. And in that time, it sets up enough to, as you saw with the red, when I was checking it, to, you know, do the thing and be thick enough to pipe. And it's beautiful. So I know that people get very, very into the type of soap that you need for your, you know, piping, but I don't do that. So, you know, if you have a soap that you know that you're going to want to pipe with and you have extra soap batter left over at the end of it, cool. Get it colored the way that you want it, and then just let it sit for like 10 minutes and it will totally be ready to pipe like that. That's great. That is perfect. Ship that. And for the hair, obviously we're doing like the bright red crazy hair, and there's going to be kind of like the two sort of bumps on each side, you know, like Winnie's hair. It's iconic. You're familiar with Hocus Pocus, right? I imagine that you're not watching this video unless you are familiar with Hocus Pocus, because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you are. But I assume you're familiar with Hocus Pocus, because Hocus Pocus is a great movie. And if you're not familiar with it, I hope this, 3 days of making the Hocus Pocus soaps have made you want to watch it before Halloween, really. Because I think it's a perfect Halloween movie year-round. Because here's the thing, I don't like scary movies, right? Like, I like Halloween and pretending to be something else, something that you're not, or whatever, for a minute. That's fun for me, but I don't like scary movies. And so I think that's the reason why I like Hocus Pocus so much, is because it has the appropriate level of, ooh, spooky, and it's like the subject matter is witches and all the things, but it's not actually scary. Like, my children have sat and watched this with me forever, for years and years, and they've never been, scared. So that's probably why I like Hocus Pocus, honestly. Whatever. Do you like scary movies? I hate scary movies, especially scary movies for like the sake of scare, or the sake, like jump scares. Hate jump scares. I played Five Nights at Freddy's, hated every minute of it. And like the gore for the sake of gore, I don't like that either. I don't know. I'm a wimp when it comes to that stuff. I'm just not a fan, but some people really get into it. My brother is so into horror movies, and I'm just like, have you seen Audition? And that's it. It's the only horror movie that I can actually stomach is Audition, or the Halloween movies, the Mike Myers movies, because those ones aren't scary either, and they're not even like jump scary. There's nothing scary about them. But the rest of the movies from that time frame, I super do not watch at all. Now, with this, I am literally just taking the piping bag and creating some more texture with the end of the piping bag, and then I'm going to take a knife to the middle of it to make sure that we have a nice part in between the two, sections of bulbous red. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I actually undershot the batch and didn't make enough soap batter to do the red. I was hoping that I would not have to do this and there could be a curl in the middle, but it doesn't really make sense that there's a curl in the middle anyway, because that's not what her hair looks like. So, I mean, it's all fine. You learn to adjust on the fly when you're making soaps, really. And so this was what I was doing for it. And this will go into the oven for sure. Definitely going to get C-popped. I definitely want those purples to maybe come out through a gel. So we're going to cross our fingers and hope for the best with that one. And, again, here's hoping. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way right away. The smell is so good. It is unbelievable. So nice. That bar has some problems, so I'm concerned. Now, I did not put any of the scent blend into the hair because I definitely wanted, no matter what, the hair was red, right? So the green did not do what I wanted it to. The purple on the bottom, it ended up becoming more of a purple than it was when I poured the green on top of it, right? And then the purple at the top, I think definitely worked. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. But you see the difference between the light green there in the middle and then the sides that you can still see in the cutter? That's because this is going to continue to brown. And that's a little bit problematic, really. And so, it sucks. But I'm hoping that it won't brown too terribly much. And so it'll still be like, it'll definitely still be Winnie, but it's not going to be like as bright of a green and a purple as she really has. And I actually put a picture of all of these soaps together, all three of the Sanderson Sister soaps, at the end of this after they had cured out for about 2 weeks. So they're not going to brown out any more than they do. So you can see that one, at the end of the thing. But I love this soap. It's so cool. And I really wish that I had worn my wig for this video with like the face part or whatever. It would have been super over the top though. Like I don't know. Like I said, in form, like in the way that I look, I'm not an over the top person. I ponytail and t-shirts, and that's my life, yoga pants, whatever. And so putting on a wig is a lot of fun, like a lot of fun, but that's just for like the one day a year when you get to go to Halloween parties and again pretend to be something that you're not. Although there have been times in my life when I have, you know, decided it would be cool just to have a whole bunch of wigs and just wear them all the time. And I think about it and then I just don't do it because, I mean, that's a whole extra step in the morning, and I don't like extra steps. But I do love these soaps. These soaps are really good. And like I said, the scent blend on them is so good. And I love it so much. It's definitely very witchy, very magical and mystical and mystical, hippity. I forget what it says. Shroom of his baby fat. Anyway, yeah, so that is day 183. Winnie Sanderson. She'll put a spell on you. The scent is a Dark Kiss dupe from Bath & Body Works. It's completely delightful. It is halfway through. This is the bar that represents the halfway point for a daily 365 days of soap project. So we're 6 months into the year. It's amazing. I love this. And here's a picture of all three of them together. So yeah, Sanderson Sisters are all together. And this project was so much fun.
I'm really wishing I'd worn the wig. Now, after seeing with the cut and the red and that wig was seriously one of the most fun wigs I've ever worn. And I have worn a lot of wigs. Halloween is one of my favorite things because I get to wear wigs. And this one was easily the best one that I've ever worn. And this bar, easily the best one that I've ever piped. And that's not really saying a whole lot because I hate piping soap tops. That's not my style. But for this, since we're going over the top for Hocus Pocus, I made it my style for a minute, and I hope you liked it. If you did like it, you can pick up the Winnie Bar or any of the Sanderson Sisters soaps at soapandclay.com. If you are interested in seeing what else we have in store for you for the Halloween fall season thing, subscribe to the channel, click the word and do the thing, and you could come be a part of the Sudser family, and I would really appreciate that. For those of you who are part of the Sudser family, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's cool. And there are a lot of you that have been around since day one, really, and that's awesome. And I'm not going to cry thinking about it, but if I think about it too much, I will cry. So I am going to say thank you again. I will see you guys all again tomorrow, and that is it for me for today. Bye.